I mean, it's kind of getting into the main topic, but before y'all leave, I know some people jump out quick and don't watch everything. Go to grindstoneministries.com. You can donate there, but go check those people out before we get knee deep in all this. But I just wanted people, grindstoneministries.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Homestead HQ, where we talk about preparedness and homesteading. I kind of said that backwards. This is Shelly, and we've got.
I'm Jason. Hey, Shelly did say it a little bit backwards, but I mean, honestly, today and tonight, we're going to talk a lot about preparedness stuff. So you maybe made that mistake not knowing, but it's
Well, I
all
mean,
good.
it's kind of what I have on my head right now. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, a
That's
lot of
that.
reasons why we do what we do, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, you're looking. There's just before you got on here, I was like, "What are you looking at?" And you're like, "There's so many articles. I've been watching so many videos and everything else, and it seems like the world's just going crazy in front of us, and it really seems that way." But I mean, before we dive into the topic, really the big topic we're going to talk about tonight is some of the aftermath of the hurricane that came through and pretty much decimated parts of Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and I think it got a little bit up in Ohio. I know they got quite a bit of rain, some trees and stuff like that down, but nowhere near the destruction of western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee. But before we jump into that, guys, do us a favor. VacMaster has got a sale. It's VacMasterFresh.com. They've got a huge sale going on now. It's their fall sale. I forgot the thing, but they've got amazing deals going on right now with a bunch of their chamber sealers, their knives, stainless steel tables, and everything. Use code Homestead to get an extra 15% off your order, and you can stack those what they've got off. So it's an amazing deal on that stuff. I use the stuff almost every day. Honestly, I came in, my wife was cooking dinner, and I looked over, and she had pulled out one of the VacMaster boning knives and was cutting onions with it. And I was like, "Do you like that?" She's like, "Yes." She's like, "It's better than my other kitchen knives." And I was like, "All right." So, but Shelly, what have you got? The fence. Have they done anything on the fence, or did
They
they just
have.
they abandon you?
No, they came back. They were here. Let me think. They were here yesterday. They were here today. They told Randy today that they would probably be finished mid week next week.
That's not bad.
So they have all of the H. I think all of the H braces are up. There might be another one or two that they need to put up. They've got like all of the big posts in the ground. And I noticed that, over there on the opposite side of the field, it kind of curves around when it goes back to the back. They've got some posts in there that I think they're going to put, like H braces across them where they're going to stabilize the fence over there. But um, they have all of that in, and they said hopefully they'll start hanging fence tomorrow.
Okay,
So we'll see.
awesome. Wow, not there's not a whole lot going around here. I mean, I've been busting my butt, and then also we'll get into the main topic. But I've been doing some stuff with Grindstone, some logistics stuff, trying to find some communications equipment, solar chargers, stuff like that to take down there because they're deployed in East Tennessee right now. But I've been working on that as I'm working on my jobs and trying to get some stuff taken care of before I scoot out. So that's the only thing that's been going on around here. It was a kind of an easy weekend. Didn't do a horrible amount of work, thank goodness. So
Well, and
what?
just a heads up to everybody out there. That being said, um, we'll probably record one more podcast this week before Jason leaves, and Jason may be recording some podcast when he's out there. But honestly, when he's out there doing that stuff with Grindstone, he doesn't really have a lot of time because the last time he went out, he tried to do some video, and they're just, when they're out there working, nobody wants to have a camera in your face. And I don't know if I'll figure out how to do this, so it may be a minute. There may be an interruption in the podcasting schedule. Let's just put it that way. But you guys, just show us some grace. It's all good.
Oh yeah. Well, I just now looked at my phone. I just got a text from TJ Bear, and he's like, "Camping World." We need 12 Starlinks. Go get them. So I'm gonna hit Camping World tomorrow and see if we can pick up some Starlinks. So, but yeah, I mean, anybody that wants to do donations, anything like that, I mean, it's kind of getting into the main topic, but before y'all leave, I know some people jump out quick and don't watch everything. Go to grindstoneministries.com. You can donate there, but go check those people out before we get knee deep in all this. But I just wanted people, grindstoneministries.com. Shelly, what kind of news have you got?
So I found one.
There's probably no good news, is there?
There's not much good news. Well, I do. I guess I have a second one. I just don't have that article up. But this first one that I found, which I don't know, it's kind of comical, not kind of comical, I guess. I don't know. But this dude in Memphis, Tennessee, shot and killed a guy. The dude that did the killing, his name is Dario Wilkerson. He's 20 years old. 20 years old. He killed a guy that is 27 years old, and the U.S. Marshals have been looking for him since May. And he's kind of been, I guess, what they call on the lam or whatever, hiding out and eluding authorities. But they had tracked him to a family member's home in Memphis, and they're searching the home. The dude was up in the attic and fell through the ceiling into the kitchen, into custody. So they said he didn't have any injuries or anything. They heard all this crashing, and they go into the kitchen. There's a picture of a big hole in the ceiling and all this stuff. And he's laying on the floor, sprawled out, and so now he's in custody. But I just thought, why do they even try to do that? I mean, you always get caught, right?
Oh,
even, I don't know, it's just ridiculous. The other news thing that a friend of mine told me today was, let me think, Iran has launched 150 plus missiles to Israel.
I saw
today.
I was listening when I was at work. Most of the time at work, I listen to YouTube or some podcasts and stuff like that. And I just happened to catch some live stuff going on. And it's like, it seems like, I hate to say it, it seems like Israel's pushing in World War III. It's just, they just keep knocking on it and everything else. And with Iran coming in.
Right. They're just poking a big bear, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you just need to stop.
Yeah. I mean, but they were shooting all kinds of missiles. It was crazy. I was just catching the tail end because I was taking phone calls while I was trying to listen to this and all this. And I'm just glad that's not happening over here because I just don't understand how people live a day-to-day life with that stuff kind of going on all the time.
Yeah.
It just seems like every day something's going on over there.
And we don't have that big dome over our country protecting us either, right?
No, we just got a big dome in D.C. A big ditch. So,
that's my news stories for today. Not really great news, but
yeah. Well, there's not. I mean, honestly, I don't know. The good news that I can come out is all the pouring of donations. I mean, you go on Facebook, you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, and it's like everybody and their mother is donating stuff to these people in East Tennessee and North Carolina and, the other states. It's like I saw something, it was the Nissan dealer, and this is here in Bowling Green, the Nissan dealer. Somebody went to the Nissan dealer and was like, hey, we want to take some supplies over there. And the Nissan dealer's like, here's a truck. Park it out here. It was one of their dealer trucks. They're like, park it out here, put it on Facebook, fill the thing up, and we'll give you the keys and you can drive it over there. So
that's awesome.
I saw some pictures. And then, but yeah, I mean, that's good news. People are just pouring stuff out, and it's all out of the goodness of their hearts. And it's gut wrenching. I'm sitting here, and honestly, I really want to be down there helping those people with Grindstone. But I know right now, I'm waiting on logistic stuff. Just like I got a text to see if we could pick up some Starlink things because Camping World. If nobody's ever heard of Camping World is a huge company. and they're based out of Bowling Green. Their corporate office is 5 miles from my house. I drive by it almost every day, so I'm going to hit those guys. But yeah, it's gut wrenching. It's like I want to be down there helping, but I'm waiting for stuff to get here. So because I think you can ship some stuff in. TJ was saying this morning they were giving the address where you could ship some stuff, but I'm like, I'm not going to take the chance of that not getting there. I was like, I want it in my truck bed and deliver it and everything like that. But before we jump in super, super big, I want to give a huge shout to Signature Solar. Signature Solar is one of our sponsors for the festival. They sponsor the podcast. You can use the code Homestead to get some money off your order. They've got great prices and Signature. I called Peyton. He is my contact there. I called him last night. He had already left. I sent him an email and I'm like, call me first thing in the morning. He called me first thing this morning. We got the ball rolling, and we've got some solar generators that I'm taking down to East Tennessee for Grindstone. And so, I mean, it's a significant amount of money that they donated in equipment for us. But I am super excited. When he gave me the word today, he was like, yes, I'm putting them on a pallet and we're shipping them to you. I was like, thank God.
That is awesome. Excited. And y'all, if you have, a solar setup, need solar stuff, want to get into having a solar setup, you need to reach out to these people because they really do have amazing prices. Some of the best that I've seen, and I've been pricing this stuff because we want to do solar in our barn, and just the fact that they're willing to donate this stuff. I mean, y'all go support them and show them some love and tell them that Jason and Shelly sent you.
Yeah, and after what they've done for us. I won't buy solar from anybody else, but because they made that commitment to me. And I said, and I told them there, I was like, if you want me to do videos about it, I was like, I don't care. I will do freaking videos from now to eternity if you'll send me this stuff. I was like, I'll do it. I don't care. So check out some videos. We're going to have some videos coming up. I want to put these things to the test and see what they can do.
Right.
So but yeah, we just keep getting into the main topic and then jumping back out. So
our main topic today is what is going on in the wake of Hurricane Helene that came up through Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Ohio, just like Jason said. Got a little bit of Eastern Kentucky in there. Y'all, it's crazy. I was talking to Randy today and he said this almost seems like it is worse than Katrina. And I don't know. I mean, you can like attach a dollar amount or a death toll or whatever you want to that, but it definitely seems like it has covered a larger area, right? I mean, just whipped through a ton of states. And I saw Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, he did a press conference today, and I think that Florida kind of, they encounter this a lot down there, and I think that they kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of have their ducks in a row. Like they know what to do, they know how to prepare, that all of that kind of stuff. And he said in the press conference, he was like, you need to concentrate your efforts on the Carolinas and Eastern Tennessee because, he's like, we'll get through this. They need help. I mean, he was straight up. They need help.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like anything. Like Florida is used to this. It's just like driving a car. I've been driving a car for 30 years now. I don't think about it. I just get in there, drive the car. But your first time driving, this is really kind of the first time, something like that's happened in 100 years or something. It's what do we do? People are shell shocked. So the Florida seems like it's cleaning up pretty good. The biggest thing I saw was like 3 feet of sand in people's houses and stuff like that.
On the roads. Some of their roads have like 3 feet of sand. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, now some of the stuff in North Carolina, I saw a video. A guy was standing there, and it looked like a dry creek bed. In Kentucky, we got the nice round creek rocks and all that. The guy was standing there, And he goes, there used to be a road here. And he walks back and walks down, and there's like 3 to 4 feet of like just dirt, rock, and everything else, and then you see asphalt, and it's like that's devastation. And I mean, that's just crazy to have that much stuff flowing across the road and then just depositing there.
One of the pictures that I saw, and so for those of you who are listening, Jason and I have several friends that live in Tennessee, across the state of Tennessee, that live in the Carolinas. We know several people that have been impacted like this in a big way. Um, but one of those friends shared a picture on Facebook that I saw, and it was an asphalt road, and it looked like it had been like a lane for elephants to use for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like the road, it was not flat. It was like dips and divots and all this all over the road. It was the weirdest looking thing. I mean, I guess it would have made more sense to me if the water had just completely washed the road away, but it was almost like an earthquake happened or something, and it was just all over the place. How the road looked. It was insane.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, some of the pictures and stuff like that. And like a lot of it that I saw it, and people were saying we had like 2 minute warning kind of thing on, the floods coming, get out. I don't understand, and well, I don't understand the government's response to this. We've got billions of dollars to send to Ukraine. We've got billions of dollars to send to Israel, but we don't have, like they said, FEMA's broke. So
So I have, can I interrupt you for a minute? I
yeah,
have two Facebook posts that I really want to read. And
yeah,
just because these are from people that we legit know, like we know these people and we know that they're not going to lie about this stuff. It's not just like vague stuff that's being shared on Facebook. But one of the posts that I have up is Matt Hunley, who is him and his wife put on with us with a small team. They put on the Back to the Land festival over that's west of Nashville every fall. And Matt is a permaculture design consultant, so he does kind of like what Billy Bond and William and all of them do. Um, so his post that he has, there's several pictures of all the devastation that are in the post, but it says, I've been helping to build and manage a farm in the epicenter of the flood in East Tennessee, and as a result, am a member of a lot of local Facebook groups there. Between that and my contacts on the ground, what I'm hearing is far worse than what's being reported. TEMA, which is Tennessee Emergency Management, whatever the A stands for.
not the Chinese place.
Right. TEMA and FEMA are saying not to bring supplies, leave it to them. And I've heard that from a lot of different people that they're
Yeah,
like contacting them, wanting to know where to send stuff, and FEMA is saying, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. He says, they said leave it to them. Meanwhile, the locals are talking about physically removing TEMA and FEMA from their communities because they're not sending help. There is no help.
yeah,
Like that, when you say as a prepper, you say, or I've seen it on shirts and stuff, nobody's coming to help you. If the shit hits the fan, you're on your own. Nobody's coming to help you. It's literally happening here.
yeah.
For real, it's happening. Okay. And then it says these are criminal organizations and should be duly ignored. Most of the rural communities I'm aware of are not being reached by the government and are begging for anyone available to bring supplies. Ignore the government. They're the enemy. Bring supplies if you're able, or donate to local churches, organizations, or individuals making the trip. Make sure it's someone responsible who has contacts on the ground to navigate the broken road system and get the goods where they need to go. The only response that will work is decentralized but organized relief.
Yeah.
And amen, Matt Hunley. I mean, seriously, for them to turn away people who are willing to help and send stuff and bring stuff and say, no, don't do that, kind of like you're going to be in the way kind of thing. And then they do nothing.
Yeah.
There's no help. It's
Oh yeah,
infuriating.
yeah. And it'd be different if people were coming over there, and dropping off a case of water and then rubbernecking and everything. But
Right.
I mean, if you're going in there and legitimately dropping supplies off and then leaving, or if you're saying, "Hey, can I help in the soup kitchen for a day or two or whatnot?" Dude, by all means, go over there and do that. It infuriates me that the government is going to turn people away, whether it be federal, state, local, or whatever. I know I saw one of the fire chiefs has grounded a bunch of the helicopters. There's guys that have private helicopters, and he has grounded them and says you cannot fly and go drop supplies off and help people and rescue them. And it's like, what kind of flipping world are we living in
Right.
when the government says no, you can't fly your helicopter to go save somebody's life? That's just ridiculous to me. Where does the government come off? You know, it's no different than saying no, you can't drive your car to take your kid to the emergency room. I don't understand where the government gets off on trying to do that stuff. That's where you tell the local officials or the higher ups to go to hell and you do what you want to, and damn with the repercussions on it. I'll deal with them later.
Right.
So
So the other thing that I have to read, it's a little long, but I think it's worth it if you're cool with that.
read it.
It might make you cry.
Oh, great.
So this was shared by another friend that lives over in West North Carolina. Um, and the person who wrote this, I mean, I'm just going to say her name because she's the one that wrote it and she gets credit for it or whatever, but her name is Aubrey Charlotte. I do not know Aubrey. She's a friend of my friend who's in North Carolina. It says, "Today I saw true devastation and death, and I am not okay. Today was the first day that I attempted to make it into Asheville to work. I wanted to check on my store and my staff and see my coworkers and get some much needed supplies. I am still out of power and water at my home in Marion. With Highway 40 eastbound closed, I had to take back roads around it, which included down close to Lake Lure and Chimney Rock, which Chimney Rock was one of those towns that were wiped out, and then back up to Black Mountain and Swanahoa, probably not saying that right, before finally into Asheville. Normally, it's a 40-minute drive to work, and it took a better part of 2 hours. And in that time, I saw things that will haunt me for the rest of my life. The lightest of these were down trees, collapsed power lines. I drove over and under so many destroyed power lines, it wasn't even funny. Then I got into areas where I was driving over cliffs and the edges of collapsed roads, some of which had me wondering if I would even make it to Asheville alive and see my little girl again. On more than one occasion, my car felt as if it were slipping off the road. The road was collapsed in many places and slid down the mountains and or into rivers below, so much so that barely one car could make it through. I even had to drive through what used to be a stream, which is now a small river and had overtaken a bridge. It took me a while to get the courage to drive through it because I couldn't see the bottom and wasn't sure how deep it was or how safe it was to drive through. I had to wait on someone else, obviously more familiar with the area, to go through first for reassurance I could make it in my little Kia. Then I began to see cars such as the one below, and even houses and a couple of campers collapsed and or washed away down the mountain and rivers, not even just the trees fallen on them. They had completely been destroyed and taken away by the storm waters. I saw whole sides of the mountain and rivers that had collapsed in giant mudslides more than 100 feet high easily. But that wasn't the worst. As I drove through several areas where the storm had hit the worst, I saw bodies. Bodies of animals, wild and domestic, and then I saw human bodies who had gotten caught in the storms and the rivers. No, I am not kidding or exaggerating. At first, I thought they were Halloween decorations or just clothes or something, but as I got closer, I could see they weren't and that they were real. Real victims of Helene washed away by the storm. I saw their faces. Words cannot describe how much I was affected by those sights. Even worse, when I was able to get a signal, when finally getting into Asheville, I called emergency to let them know about the victims and was told that they would get to them when they could, but were currently overwhelmed with calls similar in nature and the disaster response, and honestly, they didn't know if they would be able to get to them. All of this was happening while on the radio, which for Asheville has mostly become call-ins. A woman got on a call from Swanahoa, I'm not saying that right, to talk about the bodies she had seen floating down the river and piling up. I am horrified. I am not okay. Those 2 hours this morning completely changed me. It's one thing to hear about these kinds of disasters and complete other to see it, truly see it. I've seen posts of people trying to find their loved ones in all of this, and all I can think of now is were some of those people I saw the loved ones they were searching for. What will happen to them? Could anyone have saved them? Did they have any warning? I'm utterly heartbroken. I'm sure my coworkers thought I'd lost my mind because I couldn't really do much except stare off into space about what I saw, or I was in tears. West North Carolina was never prepared for what happened with this hurricane. I don't know if there was a way to prepare for what happened. And now all I can say is if you have family in West North Carolina and or anywhere that was affected by this storm, please help them. Check on them, do what you have to. Please keep all of us in your thoughts and prayers. Please remember kindness in the face of this disaster. We are not okay. Today I saw true devastation and death, and I am not okay. That is messed up.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that, I mean, I talked to somebody that knows I'm going out there, and they told me they're like, be ready because you're probably not going to come back the same person. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, the devastation and the death and everything like that that's gone on over there. The mainstream media is not saying it. I mean, they're saying 60 deaths because of the hurricane. I can guarantee there's thousands of deaths from this hurricane. I saw one guy's a rescue diver, and he flat out said it. He said there's thousands of people missing. He said we're diving and trying to find people, and he said we'll never find everybody. I mean,
there was a video that I saw this morning of some people that were, like they had dogs and they were searching for people, and they came across a house where there had been a mudslide, and they found 6 people buried in this house in mud, and they were still alive.
I saw that too.
Like they had to dig them out. Absolutely a miracle.
Yeah, that's the will to live right there. Is what it is. There's going to be some amazing stories come out, and there's going to be some horrible stories that come out. But I want both those stories to be told. I mean, because the American people need to hear both those stories. They don't just need to hear about the good stuff. They need to hear about the bad stuff and the stuff that can actually happen. And part of it, I blame the federal government and the state governments on it because freaking Biden the other day was like, one of the reporters were like, well, where were you when all this was going on? He was sitting on a freaking beach, sunning himself on the beach. And then his response was, well, I was on the phone for 2 hours yesterday about this and 2 hours the other day. You know what? I was on the phone doing my regular job as a contractor, and I was on the phone for about 4 to 5 hours today. And after this, I'll probably be on the phone for another hour doing some stuff. And I'm a freaking contractor, not the damn president of the United States. And then
wouldn't it make sense that an hour of his time should be able to get more accomplished than an hour of your time?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, shouldn't that be happening?
Yeah. I mean, he's got a lot more Chinese connections than I do on getting stuff done. And then Kamala Harris, where was she at? She was begging for money over on the West Coast is what she was doing.
For her campaign.
Yeah, and she ignored all of it.
Yep.
So, I mean, when it's tough times, the people that do stuff will actually rise to the top, and then the crummy people just fall to the bottom. And you can measure somebody by their works. He's too worried about sitting on a stinking beach and everything else, and she's too worried about trying to get elected president or stealing the presidency is what she's going to do, than worried about the people that have been affected by this hurricane. And it absolutely just pisses me off to no end about it.
Have you been seeing this post that everybody's putting on Facebook of the flag that's floating in the water? And it says no one or not one more penny better go to another country until our states look like this hurricane never happened.
Yeah,
Like I've
I've
seen
seen that.
that everybody has been posting that. And you said earlier that FEMA was broke,
Yeah,
but I mean, last week Biden was, rejoicing that he was able to send Ukraine another 240 billion with a B dollars
yeah.
before the end of his presidency in January. He's excited about that,
Oh
but
yeah,
FEMA's broke.
yeah. And then whatever it was when that Zelensky guy, the Ukraine president or dictator or whatever he is, and then what is another government official, they toured the ammunition plant. They were making bombs to bomb the Russians and stuff. They were signing the bombs. Did you see that? That they were signing their
No, I
names on the
didn't.
yeah, they were signing their names on the bombs and laughing. It's like, oh, we're sending a signature over on this bomb kind of thing. I guarantee nobody's going to sign a water bottle and send it to anybody in North Carolina. But
Right.
you can send I mean, you can sign a bomb and send it to kill somebody. But hey, don't worry about that water bottle.
I saw a TikTok this morning, TikTok video. It was some guy that lives in North Carolina. It's either North Carolina or Eastern Tennessee. And he was just like giving an update to family members and stuff. He said that, he said there's no help coming. These people, there's not anybody coming from the government or anything, any kind of agencies or whatever to help them. He said if you have a firearm, you need to keep it on you at all time because it's dangerous and people are looting. And he said it's not like he said people there are people out here who have not eaten since last Friday. And he said they're desperate. And you just got to keep yourself armed.
Yeah,
And then he said something about um, truckers that were bringing in loads of supplies like food, water, medicine, first aid stuff, and all that. And they would get to a stop in Eastern Tennessee, a truck stop over there, like before it got really bad. And, truckers have to shut down and sleep for so many hours and stuff. And they would wake up and all of their tires would be cut.
yeah. I've heard about that.
Like, I don't even, and the stuff is still on the truck.
Yeah,
They weren't doing it to steal the stuff. They were doing it to sabotage the efforts. What what kind of piece of crap do you I'm I don't understand. I don't understand.
yeah. I don't either. And kind of on a lighter note, have you seen the girl on TikTok that is fussing about not getting her refund for her from her Airbnb?
No.
There's this girl and she's went kind of viral on it, and thank God these people are freaking just hammering her. She came on, and apparently, like next week or something, her and her family have an Airbnb somewhere over in North Carolina in the affected area, and she's mad because she can't get her refund. And nobody will give her a straight answer on getting her refund. And she was like, "We've had," and of course, she's one of these prissy girls that ain't never done anything in her life, probably. And she's like, well, they won't give me an answer on my refund, and we planned this family vacation, and I don't understand why they won't do it. We wanted to have a nice family vacation, and these people absolutely roasted her ass on TikTok, which it was hilarious. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this girl's worried about a stinking family vacation when people have lost everything. I mean,
And their lives.
yes, I mean they've lost everything they own. They've lost loved ones, lost lives, and everything else. You're worried about freaking family vacation. I'm like, that is really where your priorities are at. And I hope they flame that girl and just keep flaming her and flaming her. So that was kind
That's
of the
probably the
funny.
only reason she went viral is because they're roasting her.
Yeah, and that's the only funny part that I've seen about this is that girl is getting flamed and put in her place. And I mean, it's funny. TikTok is has started to suppress some of the stuff coming out. They're like suppressing TikToks of people putting the actual truth out. But I just keep reposting some stuff and everything, so it'll get reposted and stuff like that,
So
so people can
so
see
what do
it.
you think that comment that you just made, what is the end game? with suppressing the truth, with telling the truth? What is the end game? Because the reason I'm asking you that is because oh my God, it's like all we're talking about where I work. Everybody's talking about this, right? And I was with some girls after work this afternoon, and um, I asked them. I said, I don't understand what is the end game of not telling people the truth about what's going on. And one of the girls that I was with said, "Well, they can't have another mass pandemic, right?"
True.
So, and then she even went as far. I mean, some of us like we got some conspiracy stuff going on, right? She even went as far as to say, "Aren't they controlling the weather?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know about hurricanes the magnitude of Helene, but maybe I don't know."
Well,
But
they've
what
got
is the
hard.
end game of controlling the truth that comes out about this? I mean, seriously.
Well, it's right before the election, and I mean that's going to be a big downturn. It's like, you know, hey, the government's not going to take care of us, and you know, essentially the Biden-Harris regime is what's in power right now, illegitimately in power. But I mean, so if they're
Wouldn't
like,
it make
oh,
more sense though if they swooped in and saved the day? But they're
yeah,
not. They didn't. They didn't show up. They haven't. It took them forever to say anything about it. And like what was it? Friday or Saturday, Trump was down there and he's already donated millions of dollars of his own money
yeah,
to relief efforts and stuff. I mean, it just makes me suspicious of everything because none of that makes sense.
yeah. Well,
Not like it you would think that they would want to be look like the good guy and go in and do something about it, and they're doing nothing about it.
yeah.
Make this make sense to me, Jason, because I don't get
It,
it.
it doesn't make sense. And some of the conspiracies, and one thing that I saw also is apparently there's one of the few semiconductor factories over around there that got hit.
Heard that too.
Yeah.
One of those lithium thing
Well,
places or
no, this is
whatever.
this is the semiconductors in your computers and all that kind of stuff.
Well, there's supposed to be
But
a battery place over there too. But go ahead.
yeah, and I've heard also that there's huge lithium deposits
Yes.
over in that area, and somebody was going on and saying it, and this is just a theory on it, uh, that they're wanting to remove all those people to where they can buy the land dirt cheap and then rape the soil and get all the lithium. I've heard that, and then also this gets deep into like QAnon and that kind of crap. That's just a whole psyop. Is apparently they said that there's all these underground tunnels and everything, but there are underground tunnels under the Biltmore. I'll give them that. That's a proven fact. But there's all these underground tunnels to where they're doing sex trafficking for kids, and it was a thing to flood these tunnels to where they were not usable anymore by the black hats, and the white hats did all this, and it gets in, like I said, it gets into all that QAnon crap that's I don't believe in. And I know some people, they're like, every time, like today for like the 700th time, the October 1st, and we're recording this on October 1st, that October 1st, everything's going to get reset, and that Trump's going to be back in office, and all our debt is going to be taken away, and we're getting a new monetary system. And
When is that happening? Because we only got like 5 hours till midnight. Come
they,
on.
well, they say this all the time. All these Q-tards are doing this all
Oh
the
my
time, and they're
God.
like, oh yeah, it's coming. The white hats are in control, and we've got the black hats where we want them, and it's got to get super bad. And Trump had to make it super bad so the people would wake up, and then you get into Gitmo, and all these people have been killed in Gitmo, and it's just like, man, you fried your freaking brain.
Yeah.
But they believe all this stuff, but they won't prep or do anything to better their life. They just keep sitting there waiting, and they're just like,
Yeah, they're still waiting on the government to take care of them.
yeah, and they're just
They
like,
think that when Trump gets in office, he's going to take care of them. He ain't going to take care of them either.
no. I mean, you're no one man is going to save this country. The
Right?
people that are going to save this country are people like you and I, the people that are listening to this, and some of the people that have gotten woke up on what's just now happened.
Right.
So, I mean, we could sit here and go through conspiracy theories and what's happening and all that stuff, but honestly, something that I really want to talk about is what Grindstone is doing. Grindstone is Bear Independent. It's his ministry. It's a 501c3. They do disaster cleanup, most of the time tornadoes, hurricanes, stuff like that. They're over there deployed right now. And like I said before, I'm going to go out there as soon as all the equipment that I've managed to get donated and stuff like that, as soon as that equipment comes in, I'm loading the truck up and I'm going over there, and I'll be over there a week and a half, something like that, helping those guys, whatever role I can fill. I'm taking comms equipment, all kinds of stuff like that. Like I said, he just texted me to see if we can get some Starlinks donated and stuff like that. So it's grindstoneministries.com. You can go. He's talking about it a bunch on his lives. When he's doing lives, he talked about it a bunch on his live this morning. But you can plug in if you want to volunteer, sign up for their email list. They will not spam you or sell your information. I've been on their list for quite a while, and I think I've received 4 emails in that whole time. So they only email you when something is going on as far as being deployed or something like that. They're not like, oh, hey, we got a new shirt. Come buy our shirt. It's none of that crap. So they need tons of stuff. I know he said water is one of the big things. He's like, we're trying to find somebody that can supply 30,000 cases of water for us right now because the people have no water to drink.
Yeah.
So guys, plug into that. Y'all can contact us. I mean, you can contact me, Kentucky Sustainable Living at gmail.com. Contact me if y'all want something, or if y'all want to donate something, I can take it over there. It's 5.5 hours. They're in Jonesboro, Tennessee is where they're at. It's where they're set up as base camp there. But email me if y'all want to know anything else or donate, doing something like that. I'll be happy to do it. It looks like deliveries, equipment that I'm waiting on. It's probably going to be Saturday when I head out of Bowling Green. So get with me if you want to bring something before Saturday. Hopefully I've got enough room in my stupid truck. I really don't want to take a trailer over there with the roads being what they are.
You'd have all kinds of room if you'd clean that truck out.
The truck is pretty well clean. I cleaned it out the other day.
Even the back seat. I mean, you could get some stuff in the back seat.
There's my bag.
I'm just teasing you.
Now, hey, there's a get home bag in the back that I usually keep.
You need that.
I've got it.
You need your medical bag that you got in there.
I've got my medical bags. I've got an extra IFAC I threw in there. I'm taking a tremendous amount of stuff. I'm taking most of my ham radio equipment. I've got it packed up, ready to go in Pelican cases. But yeah, I'm worried about room, honestly. I just don't want to pull a trailer over there just because I've seen the devastation on the roads, and I'm like, pulling a trailer over there is going to be horrific to get in and out of some places. I'm probably going to go buy one of those hitch things that you put in your hitch, like people ride their little hover around things on.
Oh yeah, like one of those iron. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go buy
totes on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to run to Harbor Freight and buy one. I think they're like $120. I'm like, that'll be a lot more space, and I can throw stuff on there. They need fuel also. Fuel's a big thing, gasoline and diesel. So if you know anybody that can get gasoline and diesel over there, that would be a godsend for them. So, but yeah, I'm taking all kinds of stuff. I'll probably take a bunch more medical equipment.
Are you gonna take some extra gas cans for you so you can get back home just in case you can't find gas?
Yes.
Have you thought about that?
Oh yeah. Hey, you know me, I've thought about that. That's the first thing I thought about. Yeah.
Because I'm hearing all these places that you have to they don't take cards, you have to pay cash, and then what if they're out? What if they've not got resupplied with, gas or whatever?
The original plan, I've got a 50-gallon fuel cell that I keep on my Bobcat trailer, and I was going to rinse it out of what little diesel's left in there and fill it up with gas, but then I hooked a battery to it, and a stupid pump is not running. So I'm like, I'm not fooling with that. So I'm on the fence. I've got 55-gallon drums, but I hate to run all that way with a 55-gallon drum of gasoline in the back of the truck.
That's going to be heavy.
Well, it's not the heavy part. I mean, it's not going to be that bad, but it's like, man, you got 55 gallons of volatile chemicals in the back if something happens. But I'll probably wind up, what I thought about doing was every time I get to a quarter of a tank, stop and fill the truck up wherever you can find it. Because it's a 5 to 6 hour drive. So you're going to have some time to stop. So I figured every time it got to a quarter of a tank and we'll find a station, top it off. I'll take at least 30 gallons of gasoline with me. So 30 gallons will more than fill that truck up one time. So I can get, I think I get 450, 460 miles off a tank. So I can get out there to where I can find some other gasoline, and hopefully they'll have enough infrastructure set up over there at their base that if I need a little bit to get out of there, I can be fine.
And the problem is like that thing that I read, that girl said it normally took her 40 minutes to get to work, and it took her 2 hours because she had to take all these alternate routes. So, that's another thing. You might sit there and think, well, it's 5.5 hours out there, and I know I can make it out there on one tank of gas, but can you? I mean, can you go directly out there? That's the kind of the part that's, which, I mean, if TJ's out there before you, he can tell you how to come. And you can better gauge. He can tell you what roads are open and all that stuff. So, I mean, hopefully they'll get all of their stuff together and they'll get out there pretty quick.
Yeah. So, guys, I mean, go check it out and tap in with these guys at grindstoneministries.com. They're doing amazing work. Now, a lot of these contractors, and I talked to TJ about this when I went to Oklahoma. He was telling me, he said, a lot of these ministries come in and everybody keeps a timesheet. And when it's all done, these quote ministries go and turn in all this to FEMA, and then they get reimbursed. So they're making money off your volunteering to clean stuff up.
Well, I mean, I know that sounds sketch, but churches are a nonprofit.
Yes.
And if that helps them to have some startup money for the next bad thing to happen, for them to go and do that stuff, I don't know. It's on you. If you do something bad, if you put bad out into the world, bad's going to come back at you. I truly believe that. And you've got to be accountable for your own stuff. And if they're using that money for, ministry and to help people and all of that kind of thing, soup kitchens, whatever you want to say, then more power to them. And if they're not, if they're being sketch with that money, then shame on them. And that's going to come back and bite them in the hind end too.
Yeah, it'll all come out in the wash.
Yep.
So I think we about beat this horse to death tonight. So
well, let's just say one more time again, Grindstone Ministries. You can reach out to them if you want a way to donate money. And Grindstone Ministries is actually a nonprofit as well. And I think that you could, if you wanted to, if that's important to you to donate to a nonprofit. But I will tell you, the money that if you tell them that you want this to go to help the people in North Carolina, that's directly where it'll go.
Yeah.
Bear is upfront and honest about how he does his dealings, and he sends people, when they have tornadoes or natural disasters, whatever, he has teams that go out and deploy and go help in those places. So reach out to them if you want to donate money. If you don't want to donate to Grindstone Ministries, there are plenty of organizations out there that are sending truckloads of stuff, just like the Nissan dealership in Bowling Green. They're sending, stuff out there. There's people that are going out there to help. I'm sure that, you can find somebody to give money to or whatever. If you can't, reach out to Jason or I here at, you can actually email questions at KentuckySustainableLiving.com. That goes to both Jason and I. And, you can say, hey, I want to donate, and we'll find somebody to put you in contact with. Because like I said, we know lots of people over in Eastern Tennessee and North Carolina, and we will make sure that you get in contact with somebody so you can help however you want to help.
Yeah. And we're not going to touch on the festival too much tonight, but guys, we got the festival coming up October 26th and 27th. Go to the website, KentuckySustainableLiving.com. The only thing I ask of you, if you go, check out our Caleb House dinner that we're doing. That's another organization that Bear runs. It's an awesome organization. We're having a charity dinner for them Saturday night. Buy some tickets for it. If you can't come, buy the tickets and let us know that you can't come, or just donate some money for it. We've got a goal of $86,000 that we want to raise. And hey,
Y'all, every time he says that, I just laugh. But it's what it is.
you're gonna laugh until we have to cut that check.
I'm going to be whooping and hollering if I can write a check to Grindstone for $86,000. You're going to see me crying. I'm going to be so happy.
Oh yeah. Well, I told TJ, I'm like, dude, if we give you a check for 86 grand, I'm driving out there and personally delivering it. And I was like, I'm not going to leave it in the mail. He goes, that'll work. So, but yeah, guys, go check out the festival website. It's KentuckySustainableLiving.com. Go check out our festival. We'd love to have you there. But right now, donate to Grindstone or donate to Caleb House for our charity dinner, and we'd appreciate it. But that's about all I've got for the night. I've got to spend probably a couple hours on the phone doing some logistics stuff, and then eat dinner. So we will.
Yep.
It'll be touch and go a little bit. Maybe we'll do a podcast remotely if I can figure out if we got some Wi-Fi or something like that. But guys,
you're gonna have Starlink with you.
If Camping World will step up, we will have Starlink out there. So putting a call out to Camping World.
Yeah.
So, but guys, stay safe out there. If you can support any of these ministries or do anything for these people, it's greatly appreciated.
Yes.
And you'll be doing an awesome thing. And we will see y'all pretty soon.
All right. See y'all later. God bless.